Lindsey.
Yes.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, how's the conference going?
It's been incredible. I think I've learned more in the last 2 days than I did in a week of schooling.
Yeah, so full transparency for people. We're at the end of our second day,
yes.
right? So you've had lots of time in content. And what stands out to you as far as things you heard, things you came across, nuggets that you were like, I better write that guy down?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of change in the industry, a lot of, moving more towards more employee focused and less on, what is the next, law that's going to trip us up coming up. So it's more about, interacting with employees and how that communication goes within the business. And that's been really refreshing to see rather than this is what insurance you can buy.
How long have you been in HR?
I've been in HR for about 10 years.
Okay, and so you're talking about seeing a change over that last decade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so with respect to some of those like employee-focused changes, what do you think are some things that you think are good changes that you'd like to wrap your arms around? You say, yeah, I underwrite this.
Yeah, absolutely. The changes in how we deal with people with disabilities specifically, and the accommodations that are available with technology, and companies being more open to use that technology. I work specifically in the disability space with my company and doing accommodations and being able to to look at an employee who may be blind that we wouldn't have looked at before.
Right.
With the new technologies we can do, we can now bring in these people and have a more diverse climate, and it changes everything.
Super interesting. So you're almost even talking about an ability to expand where previously the person literally just probably couldn't do the role.
Exactly.
And now if we're a little thoughtful about it, we're a little up to date on those accommodations, this person might be considered.
Absolutely, and I think owners and boards in and of themselves are more open to those types of people now, and they're more understanding of how they work, and I think that's been wonderful to see.
Yeah, right on. Anything else you came across or you saw, or let me ask it this way, anything you came in thinking, I really want to find a thought on this, a solution on this, or attend a session on this?
Yeah, I was really open coming into this. I didn't know what it was going to be or what it was going to look like, so I've been overwhelmed with the amount of information, and also the community. I didn't expect the community feel.
Yep.
It's been really nice to, I turn the corner and I think everybody has, smile and happy to see you, and I can answer any questions because we're all people.
Yeah. But I will tell you, there's a mix of like introvert and extrovert, and people are all over the map, and so you're right that I do think this conference specifically does a good job of creating that buzz. Is this your first time attending?
This is my first time attending this conference.
Yeah,
I'm really
coming
excited.
back?
Oh, I'm definitely coming back.
Yeah, right on. Good deal. Okay, so within your role in HR, what's keeping you up at night?
Oh goodness, definitely the changing in the dynamics between what management wants and what employees are giving, specifically with the younger generations coming in. Their management is still expecting people to come in the door and kiss their feet and
be grateful for the paycheck.
Be grateful for, and that's just not what we're seeing coming in the door. Is they have their own ideas of what they want and what they deserve, and so it's interesting to see that kind of come together.
I feel like anytime there's one side, there's another side. The answer is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But let me tease out your thoughts on, appreciation being, hey man, you have a job, you have gainful employment, versus the sort of transactional, for lack of a better word, nature that I find that fosters. If you're saying I'm just here for a paycheck, that's great.
Yeah.
But I'm not here for any other reason. So the next guy that offers me a paycheck a penny more, why wouldn't I take that?
Right, absolutely. And I think there's room for those types of people in every organization, but you also have to have those employees that are willing to buy into your mission, that are willing to take on your values and take on what you want to do with your company and help drive that. You'll always have, Joe Schmo who comes in and just wants a paycheck. That's just going to happen. But if you don't have people in those leadership positions that are driving your value and driving your mission, there's nothing you can do to get anyone else to follow you either.
Do you think that's a way to get, we'll use Joe Schmo as now a descriptive term, but let's say you have 5% Joe Schmoes.
Yeah.
Can you get it, down to 2% by doing that sort of thing, or 10% down to 5%?
Yeah, I think that a lot of employees will follow the trend. Like if everyone else is behind it, they'll follow behind. It's pretty rare to have somebody one person that's a stick in the mud that's going to say, I'm not going to do this. Generally, if you get most of your employees behind, everyone else will kind of follow. Have you found success in, you said I got to drive culture, I got to drive understanding, I got to do those sorts of things. Have you found success in that? I have. I've had a great opportunity. The current job I'm in, I've been here for about 9 months, and I was able to come in at a time of transition, and so I was able to implement morale
leadership
boost. Well, the entire HR team left.
Yeah.
And so we got a whole new HR team. So
Yeah.
we came in, and I'm a bright, bubbly, fun person.
What?
Which
If you're just on audio, by the way, she's got a bright, bubbly smile, bright pink hair, bright pink shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I kind of brought that energy in, and it was fun to see everything change and
Yeah.
see how the company itself changed. All of a sudden, they wanted to do parties, which they had never done before. All of a sudden, they wanted to do contests, which they had never done before, and just see the way that the energy in the company changed.
I think that's a super cool testament for the fact, and I'll let me humble brag on you for a sec, but how one person in one attitude can really sort of change, and that same person, so you don't even have to like necessarily accept the compliment, but finding the right person to plug into a different department or a different store or a manager or whatever can really genuinely move the needle.
Absolutely, and even those employees that seem like they're the stick in the mud, I've found that those employees that are being vocal are the ones that are in the wrong spot, not necessarily in the wrong job. So maybe there's another spot within the company that might better suit what they're looking for, and then that creates the to have a long-term employee for that long, and just to know that you see them and what they can do, that creates a great employee.
Have you moved an employee successfully?
I have, I had an employee back when I worked at Paul's TV. If you live in Southern California, you know who Paul's TV is. Yeah, I worked at Paul's TV, and we had an employee who was in our call center, and he just was not working out. But he was great at walking people through how to fix things. So we had a team that would go out and fix televisions, and so I moved him to that team, and he suddenly flourished. He knew what he was doing, he knew what he wanted to do with his life, and since then he's off doing other things with televisions and technology and doing a great job.
I've heard people talk about AI's introduction to HR and how that sort of skill set mapping might be something that AI kind of brings in the future. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, anything we can use AI to just get the extra steps out is great. I'm not one that's afraid of AI. I think it's going to be fantastic if we use it correctly, and if we're aware of it.
And this sort of the example here is like, you did a great job with this one employee, but you can't be expected to be everywhere. And as organizations grow, if what we can do is have the AI understand organization-wide what all the roles are and maybe where some of the vacancies are, and how rather than filling this vacancy, we should move this guy to here and then fill this other vacancy, and that can be understood by this big bot that maybe knows from everything from any personality assessments you do and upload to even just watching emails for tone and maybe downloading all of our Zoom meetings and trying to see like, hey, this guy appears to have this type of a personality and skill set. We think it might be a fit for here.
Yeah, absolutely. Or using AI even to kind of change the way you communicate. So I don't know if you've ever heard of goblin.tools. It's a free tool, and you can go in and you can put in information and then say how you want to change the tone of it. So you can say you want it more friendly, you want it more personal, and it kind of helps you guide the way that you make your own words and make sure you know how you're coming off. So using AI for that is absolutely fantastic, as well as looking at organically the whole company and what best fits where. So I think there's tremendous opportunity.
I love that. Before we get out, just to take us home, are there any final thoughts you have on the conference, on human resources, on things you're a big believer in?
I think that human resources has the opportunity to really innovate in our entire business structure. And as we continue to move back into the office and we continue to have these conversations, I think they're going to be an integral part in planning for the future as to what's going to happen, if there should be another emergency.
Thank you for coming out.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on. I appreciate you.